Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. Humans are naturally curious creatures and are fond of knowing about everything happening around them. Since the beginning of humankind, this desire that we have to explore new things has led to the discovery of so many new inventions that we could not have even imagined them back then. Among these, the greatest invention was the development of modern technology. The internet allows us to get all the information about everything we could imagine with just a few clicks. Therefore, we might think that we have seen everything the world has to offer through the internet, if not up close. But that is just not true, as the things you are about to watch in this video are 10 of the things you probably have never seen before. 10 craziest things you've probably never seen before. Number 10. Beer bottle bricks. This fantastic idea of making a bottle containing beer that could later be used as a brick was thought of by Freddie Heineken. He came up with it while visiting the island of Curacao and was bothered by the amount of waste on the island, which included his beer bottles and the lack of proper housing. To solve this, he asked architect John Habraken to design this rectangular bottle with very thick glass. The bottle had a dimpled pattern and a specially designed neck that could interlock with a hole at the end of another bottle. The WOBOs, as these bottles were called, were put into a test run by producing 100,000 of these and building an entire house out of them in Noordwijk. However, the bottle did not make it to the market, as the 1960s consumers preferred the regular bottle. But many claim that the bottle was ahead of its time and would have thrived in today's socially conscious society. Number 9. The tongue drive system. The wonderful invention called the tongue drive system developed by Govan Liu is a blessing to paralyzed patients. This fabulous tongue drive system, or TDS, allows people suffering from severe disabilities, such as spinal cord injuries and neurological diseases, to control their electric wheelchair movement using their tongue. The device uses a tongue-operated wireless assistive technology, which enables the person to control their movement via tongue motions. A magnetic tongue stud that is placed on the user's tongue acts like a gaming controller. The tongue's position determines the commands that are sent to the headset of the device. This breakthrough invention has not only allowed paralyzed patients with a little freedom to move around at their will, but has also helped reduce psychological issues amongst these patients. Govan Liu and his associates are now working on making this expensive power wheelchair much more accessible by the people, while also improving its performance. Number 8. Night lights for bats. Bats are fascinating nocturnal creatures who are known for using echolocation to navigate their way in the dark. We often fail to realize the importance of the roles of bats in urban ecosystems through insect and pest control, seed dispersal, and pollination. It is known that they are particularly sensitive to lights, especially the bright lights we humans use to light up our streets at night are too bright for bats. Urbanization and adaptation to new technology are therefore harming bat habitats and decreasing their populations. Scientists came up with a compromise solution by inventing a special kind of LED light that is bright enough to light up our streets, while also being friendly to bats and other nocturnal creatures. This amazing invention is much more environmentally friendly and helped to reduce threats to bat habitats that used to be caused by traditional street lamps. Number 7. The Cult of Mickey. The eerie picture of a group of children in a theater became famous for being extremely scary, even though it was not meant to be. The picture showed a full theater with every child wearing a Mickey Mouse mask. On top of this, it was taken during a time when pictures were only black and white, so the photo looks even more nerve-wracking. We all know about the animated Mickey Mouse series created by Walt Disney that we all used to enjoy during our childhood. However, the Mickey Mouse Club goes way back to the 1930s when it used to be theater-based and had about 1 million members. This picture was taken during one of their meetings at a cinema. It was not deemed creepy at the time it was taken, but when we take a look back, the picture looks like a scene from a horror movie. Number 6. How crowds are made. The use of CGIs, or computer-generated imagery in movies, especially animated ones, had taken film production to a whole new level. The program is used in such a way by professionals that it's often hard to distinguish what is real and what is not. If you ever wondered how movies hire thousands of people like crowds, the truth is that they do not. They only gather a small bunch and duplicate them or use CGI to create more. However, this was not the case in Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. In the set, the chief model maker Michael Lynch made a mock crowd by cutting and painting 450,000 miniature cotton swabs to fill up the stadium, and used a fan to make movement gestures amongst the crowd. This was ironically done, despite the film investing millions of dollars in their budget to use CGI instead. Number 5. Rectal dilators. Back in the 1940s, when technology was not as advanced as it is now and people were still figuring out ways to treat different diseases using different methods, a doctor named Young came up with rectal dilators. These devices came in a pack of 4, with each of the devices having a different diameter. Apparently, these were used to be inserted inside one's rectum, to open and relax the internal and external anal sphincter. According to the product's label, it was able to cure constipation, insomnia, foul breath, bad taste in the mouth, sallow skin, acne, anemia, lassitude, mental hebetude, insomnia, anorexia, headaches, diarrhea, hemorrhoids, flatulence, indigestion, nervousness, irritability, cold extremities, and numerous other ailments. It also mentioned that the product should be used frequently as a precautionary measure. However, it was later found that none of these were true, and the patients who went through such treatments just had to go through torture. Number 4. Frozen Niagara Falls. One of the most magnificent scenery on Earth is the renowned Niagara Falls that sits between the boundaries of Canada and the USA. You might have seen pictures of the place and thought that it was beautiful, but you will not be able to truly appreciate its real beauty unless you have actually visited the place in person. The flowing water in Niagara barely completely freezes when the temperatures are extremely low. However, in 1848, the falls froze completely. It was the only time that this happened, and the reason for this was because of a southwest gale blowing off of Lake Erie. The gale caused ice to jam and dam up at the mouth of the Niagara River, thereby restricting the water flow. The place apparently looked amazing, and there were naturally formed ice sculptures that were nearly 50 feet thick. Number 3. Fish car. When we want an animal as a pet, we would usually prefer a fluffy, cuddly animal that can keep us company. However, one of the most famous pets are fish, who are kept in an aquarium and therefore aren't possible to cuddle. Not only are we unable to play with them, it is harder for them as they spend their lives confined in the tanks. A researcher realized the hardships of the fish from their perspective and decided to build a device to give them more freedom. He ended up inventing a fish car, which was basically a fish tank placed on a motorized car body with 4 wheels. It has a camera placed in the tank that monitors the fish movement, which determines the direction the car is supposed to move towards. As you can already guess, this was not successful, as a fish cannot drive. Nevertheless, the innovative idea and execution were quite fascinating. Number 2. Colorful honey. If you ask anyone about honey, the first image to cross their minds would be the golden substance that bees produce and that we all are familiar with. But what if we told you that there was a type of honey that was different in color? Not just a little bit different, but honey that was blue and green. In France, it shocked everyone when such colorful honey was discovered. It was being made by only one particular group and species of bees. It was later found out that the reason behind this is because the bees used to feed off of remnants of M&Ms from a nearby chocolate factory. The beekeepers planned to sell the amusing colorful honey, but unlike the desirable original taste of honey, the colored honey had a rather weird flavor. It did not make it to the market, and the bees were taken off their hives. Number 1. Polyodontia. It is often seen in animals, such as sharks, that they have a large number of teeth covering a large proportion of their mouths. In humans, however, it is normal to have 32 teeth in total. People suffering from the unusual condition called polyodontia suffer from additional teeth growing not just inside their mouths, but also other parts of their body. It sounds terrifying, as scary creatures are often portrayed having such teeth arrangements, like the famous Pennywise from the movie It. It might be beneficial for some people to have a few extra teeth. For example, famous singer Freddie Mercury used to have 4 extra teeth that were credited for his amazing vocals. In some cases, however, this condition could be severe. In India, a child suffering from polyodontia had nearly 500 teeth removed from his mouth. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!